Good evening, everybody. How are you? It's actually really nice to be here. I wasn't sure if I was gonna make it on tonight, but I'm here. I had a little bit of, I felt like I have a little bit of a cold. Could have a little bit of a cold. Both of my children have a cold. Sagan and Jana both have colds. And yeah, all day I've had just that kind of tinge feeling of a cold, and I thought maybe tonight I would not come on live and I would just take a break. And just doesn't happen like that. The show must go on. Been a professional musician for over 30 years. I've owned businesses. For Drumeo.com, I was a world-renowned drum teacher, drum life coach there for almost 5 years. So I know that it's when you have those commitments, when you feel it inside of you that you have to be there, you have to be there. And anyway, I'm really excited. And I think tonight's conversation is going to take a drastic left turn from what I thought it was going to be. And maybe it will segue into it. And if it does, I'll let you know. I don't want to ruin it or say anything about that. But, tonight I was putting Sagan to bed. I was putting my children to bed. Elizabeth was putting Jana to sleep. I was laying down with Sagan, putting him to sleep. And when he falls asleep, usually what I'll do is I'll lay there and I'll meditate. I'll use that time after he's asleep and I'll relax and stuff and I'll meditate. And tonight I just have been feeling incredibly, I feel like I'm floating right now. I have been feeling incredibly connected over the last few days, and I don't want to say the blood moon, but I've just been really vibrating and resonating absolutely incredibly over the last few days, and tonight especially. So when I was laying there, I did my my eye technique, and instantly, I fell into the fractal pattern as I was meditating there, and I just said, I'm just going to lay here and hold my eyes, extend it even longer than I normally do. And I think the longest I've probably personally held my hands on my eyes with a decent amount of pressure would be almost about 6 minutes. And tonight I didn't even need to get that far. It must have been 40, 50 seconds in. The fractal pattern started to change, and I was aware of it, but I, guide myself to continuously let go. My thoughts, my name, my identity, my children, non-attachment, I embrace love, and I let that be the last thing I have, and then I'm kind of gone. And I'll tell you what, I need to take a sip. As I was laying there, I started to notice shapes. I get a lot of rooms, sometimes rooms and buildings and things like that, a lot of remote viewing. And today I was in a very fast tunnel, moving very fast. It became very blue, very prominent blue and white, a lot of blue and white. I came out and it looked like a room at first, but it kind of opened up more to almost like a I guess just an outside, like a sitting area, just like a really nice relaxing area outside. White buildings, they were all white buildings, very smooth, and blue, like the air, that's the best way to say it. It was like everything was blue. Everything had this blue hint to it, blue tint to it. And it wasn't that the buildings were blue themselves. It was the air was blue, the sunlight was blue. There was something with the atmosphere of the sun that was making this blue. And I realized as I was doing this, there's like a thread or something in my shirt that's bothering me, excuse me. As I was doing this, it was, oh, there we go. I realized that I was elsewhere, and this happens to me often, sometimes intentionally, but this was just I told you I just lay there and was gone. And so as I was laying there, I was like, okay, all right, let's see what this is. I started just letting it go, just experiencing it, just seeing where it was taking me, following it. And you're starting to sense things. I begin to sense things as I'm seeing the imagery, and I start to put it all together. And I can't I don't want to say too much online, but it was absolutely beautiful. I can tell you, I've said this before. I've said this before, and we have abilities. What's the best way to say this? There are abilities available to us that transcend human comprehension. Things that go beyond sight, sound, touch, and taste. When we get goosebumps, when our ears ring, those senses that somebody's in the room or coming behind us. Things that go beyond that. There are spectrums of light that we can't see that would just blow our minds away. There are energies around us, form of energies. There are ways for us to manipulate the molecules and the matter before us. There are ways for us to transcend our current state of consciousness and elevate it and travel and traverse through other dimensions, other realms, all safely and all beautiful. We can connect with the divine source anytime we want. We have been detached from that ability. We can connect to our celestial heritage, meaning my higher awareness, my true being, not me, the reflection, the vessel. The true being has experienced countless lifetimes and countless different worlds, and we here have access to that encyclopedia of self. There's a way for us to open and unfold our consciousness that will connect us to our higher awareness, that will enable us to navigate through this world and just be what we truly intended. So many of us came here with that intention of having a purpose, to interact with other people, to help them, to heal them, to guide them. And so many people came here with just that desire to be, with nothing to do. You may be somebody who has gone through hobby and job after job. You may be somebody who wakes up every day and goes to their job and is just not happy. There's just something in your life that you're not doing, and you're trying to do all these things, and you can't find that peaceful feeling inside you. And it's because you may have been one who has chosen to come here and do nothing. Just be. Just to be able to wake up in the morning. Think of that. Just to be able to wake up in the morning, step your feet out of the bed, and let your day just happen naturally. Not have to go anywhere, work anywhere, be anybody specific, impress anybody, pretend to be anybody. Just get up and be that pure consciousness, that awareness that we had. But let our lives evolve. Embrace the technology without tearing the planet apart and killing animals, right? We don't need to be redundant and repetitive. There's no reason for us to kill a living being on this planet. We can eat the most amazing foods and fruits and vegetables, things that just taste unbelievable, that you would never want a piece of beef or fish again because it's unnecessary. I dare you, if you eat pork, beef, even a fish, go to a fish store, go up to the glass, look at the fish swimming around, interacting with each other, catch eyes with one as it's swimming, and tell me you want to take that out and kill it and hold it in your hands. Go to a petting zoo, stare at a cow, hold it by its face, look deep in its eyes, and you're going to see yourself. You're going to see a reflection of your cosmic energy, your celestial awareness, because we're beyond one within one. We're beyond one within one. There are no words for what we truly are. I can pretend I know the words. I can make up words. I can express it to the best of my knowledge. But I promise you that each day you wake up and you have in your heart these desires and these feelings, and deep inside you want to be able to just strip it and rip it all away and be completely free and be able to express yourself and be able to be whole and pure and not have to live in anyone's expectations, not be judged, not be looked at, watched, just be. And man, the whole, like nothing is huge right now. Everything is just so close and so pulled in together right now next to me. You know, the most distant star, it's just here, and I can just feel you sitting there. The air in the room is not invisible. The particles, the photons that make up the atoms and molecules that make up oxygen and just make up the materials in the room, the energy, I could just feel all this, and I promise you, if you can close your eyes with me right now, just close your eyes and think back to when you were a child, how you used to love life, be so full of joy and excitement, and you just wanted to laugh and be loved. And we changed, but right now I want you to hold that. I want you to hold that joy, that pure, pure joy and excitement. Go back to as young as you have to find it. And sit there. Step outside of your own existence. Be the observer. See what you were doing. See how you smiled and danced and jumped around, played in the mud, ran outside, rode bicycles, climbed trees, picked flowers. Just see how your life was full of adventure and joy, an open road. Anything you want to be. Anything you want to be. I want you to take that feeling with you right now. Take that right now and hold that and feel that in you. Feel that joy. Feel that love. Let it start to lift you inside. Let it literally connect with every fiber of your being, your skin, your hair, your toes, your fingers, your face, your organs, your molecules, your heart, your lungs. Feel all that energy right now that pulls everything together and forms you right now. Let it vibrate with that joy. Know that we are not just some mistake, some cosmic accident that woke up here and vanishes off into the darkness to never see light again. We are beyond the light. There is no light without us. Our awareness, this right now, that present entity without thought, is who we are, ancient and old, beyond time, beyond comprehension. And just hold joy, hold that knowing that you are just a celestial awareness that has chosen to experience life in the vessel you are in. No matter who you are, no matter what you look like, what you are doing, none of that matters. What matters is what you pull in, what you pull in and perceive, how you let that resonate inside, and how you project it back out. We recycle every single emotion, every single word, every single thought. But what we have to do, what we must do, is hold on to that mind of joy. If we can see the world, perceive the world, and project in the world from that state of mind, that heart, that pure energy, then that's the world we'll have. That's who we get to be every single day. Our lives right now, our world right now, the technology is taking such a turn that it is going to, at the speed of light, just evolve and evolve, and embrace it without fear. Embrace it without fear. The only thing we have to fear is the good technology falling into the hands of darkness. But darkness is dead, my friends. Darkness is dead. There's nothing for us to fear. It's all fading away. So all of the technology, all of the evolution, everything that's been suppressed of us, everything that can unite us and ascend us and excel us and save us and our planet is at our fingertips. And when we embrace that and the truth of our joy and our love, and that we are more than just these bodies, and we have within us and beyond us abilities that can shift and change not only ourselves, but the fabric of time and space and the material of the world in front of us, then I promise you, you will go on to experience things after you leave here that will just make the concept of heaven seem like Disneyland. What we can experience, what we can embrace, the love we can carry, who we can transcend with, what we will be able to do here, there, everywhere, and beyond, because it is all inside of God. Whether you're an atheist, a Buddhist, a Muslim, a Jew, a Christian, a Catholic, a Protestant, a Hindu, whatever I don't even know, a neo-Nazi, whether you are somebody who embraces hate or love, you have to stand up right now and realize, regardless if it's flat or round, we exist in something together. And it's time for us right now to stop. Forget what we thought, forget what we know, what we hear, and go inside. Because if you shut up, if we can all just shut up and not listen to the damaged perspective, we will hear inside that voice. It's been there since you've been a child. It's been guiding you all along because you are that infinite being of awareness. And as I've said 100 times, without you, nothing exists. Open your eyes if you've had them closed. There's so much for us to do, and there is so much to experience. Let's just do it with joy, seriously. So many of you are so special. Now, I don't mean this to separate anybody, because we are all beyond equal. I don't know the words to the right way to express it, but some are here for a special purpose. That's a better way to say it. Thank you. They're not special, but the reason they came here, the part they came to take part in, the interaction, hold on. The interactive awareness they chose to take part in. The interactive awareness they chose to take part in is unique and challenging. I don't like that word personally. Trying, sorry, not challenging. Trying. Oh, I can relate to that. You know, I get where we're going. If you, You know, if life is like that for you, like I said before, if you're constantly thinking, is this for you? You second guess yourself, you live in that self-doubt. All of us do because of how we've been conditioned. But beyond that deeper feeling where you know, you've known since you're a child that you did. There is something specific here for you. You can't put your finger on it. And life is trying for you. It's trying. You are faced with true temptation. If you are somebody who is faced with true temptation, your temptation could be drugs, it could be lust, it could be pride, envy, sloth. We know the 7 deadly sins, right? But beyond that, that really dark side of embracing the ego. If these temptations are something that are prominent in your mind, but you feel you have this calling, you have to understand that these are tests that you chose to partake in. Interactive awareness. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. That's great. I'm definitely going to have to make a note of that one afterwards. And, you know, I'm going to cut it short tonight. My voice is getting raspy. And I want to kind of sit down and connect with a couple of people here that have some really amazing lives ahead of them. I'm so sorry. I know I might look like I'm spacing out, but I'm definitely, I had no intention of channeling tonight. But like I said, I've just been resonating and vibrating in just this state over the last few days. It's always 24 hours and 7 days a week, but this is just absolutely beautiful because it's crystal clear who it's for. It's very specific. So, okay. The perspective, I want you all to really think about something. I want you to think about something. Regardless of whatever you want to do in life, whatever it is you feel you want to do in life, your perspective, self-doubt, second-guessing yourself. You will be faced with things. You will be faced with things that will be trying to you, that will feel like temptations. Some of these things are true temptations that you are not supposed to take part in. And then some of these things are things that you will take part in order to break free. Break free, like it's like cracking a shell, breaking free of this reality of the confines of your own judgment and perspective and expectations. So really, be careful. Be careful of false prophets. Very strong. Seriously, like just those 2 words. Be careful of false prophets. And we know, I say it all the time, Instagram, social media, we just get bombarded with these are the spiritual teachers of our times, awakening healers, and this and this and this and this and this and this, and buy my bracelet. Take my numerology port. It's mind-blowing. And at the end of it, enter in your credit card information. So, false prophets. Really be careful what you're doing with your spirituality. Be careful how you're pulling it thin. Many of you have been sensing and feeling the wrong places to go, and that's good. And some of you are feeling the call. You're being drawn to a specific voice, a specific teacher, a specific, something inside of you is pulling you in and guiding you to a specific place. And this is good. If in your heart it feels good and in your mind it resonates logic, then you are creating a beautiful field of energy around you. And that's what we want to do. That's what we want to do. Wow, I am just like floating. Literally the floor in the room, just the perspective around me, and my ear is just My scalp is tingling. I'm just trying to describe, yeah, my scalp is just absolutely just tingling, like big time. Goosebumps all over earlier. But the travel, very specific person in mind. You know, another thing is sometimes we're born into lives. It's interesting. Sometimes we're born into lives where we're born really beautiful and we're born wealthy and we have everything we want. And again, we get misguided and let ourselves get sucked into the world rather than using the tools before us as a platform to do our true intention, even if it's just to be. And then some of us, yay, like me, are born like in the darkest lessons life has to offer. Some of us are just born into a world that's gonna put us through the darkest lessons that life has to offer. Again, another great one. Man, I need a pen with me and a piece of paper right now. This is all being recorded. What am I talking about? Yeah, that, you know, excuse me. You've all seen and read the spiritual quotes about you have to go through all the darkness and the horror to truly understand and to embrace your light, and this is partially true. If you're on a path of enlightenment and you're on a path of connecting and sharing truth and joy with others, then you are going to have to really endure not only a world of hurt and a world of pain, but a world of joy, a world of happiness. And it's so peculiar for me when I think back to my life, and if I just explain it to you right now in a 10-second sentence. Growing up in the projects of Queens, New York, a broken family, family divorced when I was 4 years old, 4.5 years old. Left with my mother and my older sister, very abusive, sexually, mentally abusive mother, physically, mentally abusive sister, mentally abusive father, who was also an alcoholic, beat my mother in front of me, made me watch it when I was a little boy. Endured this house for a very long time. You know, teenage years, drinking drugs, all that stupid shit. And then into a good life, you know, decent jobs, got out of New York on my own, playing with bands, playing drums, martial arts, boxing, all these things, traveling. Good times with my mother and father, believe it or not. I'm not going to sit here and say every single day was a dark day. My sister is dead. She committed suicide, attempted to. She jumped out of a 6-story window 2 years after her husband did, which she verbally helped make him jump. 2 years later, she jumped, hit a tree on her way down, survived for 2 years in the hospital, and died. I, in 2003, inherited over $1.5 million, and did great stuff with it. You know, took care of a lot of things, helped a lot of people, set some things up, opened business up, lost every single thing. So, you know, I've been at the bottom of the barrel. I've climbed out of the barrel. I've looked up at the mountain. I have scraped my way up shit hill and up to the top of that goddamn mountain. And when I got up there and looked up there and went, wow, so this is what it's like to stand up here and have everything, right? I just tumbled right down back at the bottom of that whole mountain again. And I stood there and stayed there, and everything happened to me. If I posted that little 10-year challenge that's going on right now, 10 years ago, I didn't have a beard and mustache, but 10 years ago, I was 230 pounds, 60 pounds heavier than I am today. My skin was paste white, gut big, 60 pounds heavier. My triglycerides were over 600. You couldn't even register my bad cholesterol. I was over diabetic, borderline diabetic. My body was shutting down. I couldn't move. My joints, muscles, everything didn't move. I ate junk food, soda, smoked a pack and a half of cigarettes a day. Right? And I'll tell you what, today I am the absolute happiest person on the planet. And even though my son, my oldest son, Kyle, you can read about him on my Instagram page. He's 10 feet away in the other room. My wife's asleep. John is asleep. Sagan's asleep. They are my world. They are every reason why I am still here. But I can tell you that if I lay down tonight, true non-attachment, forget all the material stuff we buy in life. We'll talk about the last things to go, and that's the loved ones. Because when I laid down and I let everything go months back and I went into the light, the only thing that brought me back when every single bit of everybody who I ever thought I was, when every memory, when every bit of self-awareness was gone, I was just at that stage where complete memory of this reality was gone, and I was going back into the divine source. That voice just said, Kyle, Sagan, Elizabeth. It didn't even get to Jana. And just sucked right back out of that tube, right here, opened my eyes, gasped, and just laid there for 20 minutes, just talking, all on film. Non-attachment is right now, if I laid down right now and felt that it was time for me to go, if I was slipping away, I can let go of every single person, every single thing, the people who are closest to me, because I'll tell you what, there's no sense in holding on to it, because it just creates fear. If you can truly let go. That term, let go, when you see people posting it all the time, so many of the false prophets have no idea what let go truly means. When you can truly let go of every single thing, yourself, everyone, anything, love is the last thing you will have. It's the last thing you'll feel, the last thing you'll know, the last thing you'll remember, because you'll remember it's everything you truly are. Pure love. No thought, no nothing behind it. Just love. The feeling. So, find that person. Find that person who can show you how to let go. Who can help you let go. Because I promise you, I've seen the darkness, and I've danced with the fucking devil more times than anybody should ever have to. And as I said, I stood on top of the mountaintop. I had it all. The Cadillac CTS, 4 BMW motorcycles, townhouse, every new gadget in there, the badass cafe. And you know what? It's how I met my wife. And I would let all that shit go again any goddamn day of the week to be where I am today, to be with the people I am, because that's the only reason I'm here, for them and for you. So everyone, it's, what do you call today? Wednesday, right? I will be back Sunday morning. So if you want to come back and hang out, send a message, let me know. And if you know anybody, you know somebody who could definitely be here listening to this, get them here every Wednesday and Sunday. These broadcasts are on Instagram for 24 hours afterwards, and then sometime within a week or so after they air, I do get them up onto my website, and the link for that is on my Instagram profile, but it is the Institute of Celestial Learning. What a dumb shit name, which is about to change anyway. Um, it's not a dumb shit name, but it just was a different mindset. So find that voice. Find that person, because they're out there waiting for you. They're talking to you. You're seeing them all the time. Forget the numbers. Forget the sacred geometry, the cymatics, the frequencies, the crystals. Forget all that. Shut up. Shut it down. Shut up.